talk about flood insurance
Okay.
because there is, I think, a lot of confusion out there because when you were like not covered, that was the one thing you could absolutely say with certainty. So when you have a homeowner's insurance, the policy includes flood insurance. What kind of flooding does it cover? Do you need it if you don't live in a flood zone? Because flooding can come from a couple different places, right? It can come from water from outside, or flooding can come from water from inside.
Yes.
So can you clear that all up for us?
So the difference between water damage and flooding or flood insurance is going to be dependent on the cause of the loss. So when you think about water damage, that typically happens from within the home. So hypothetically, you're at home, you see there's water on the ceiling, you go upstairs, you find that there is a busted pipe, and that causes water damage in the home. That is covered under your homeowner's policy. With flooding from the outside, which is normally caused by an act of God or Mother Nature or a river overflowing, that is not covered under your homeowner's policy. That is a separate policy called a flood policy that is usually obtained through the National Flood Insurance Program, but completely separate from your homeowner's policy. So you would need to have both. Dependent on your risk exposure.
So let's talk risk exposure, right? We all know that, here in Duval County, the area where we live, you can go and check and see if you are in a flood zone. In fact, there are some signs in some places in the city that say, hey, the water might get here. That means, you're in a flood zone or you need to evacuate. So how do you determine that in terms of what your risk is? Because, come on, we're in Florida. Like, every place is a flood zone, right? In Florida, we're in a peninsula here.
Yeah, well, you'll find that most mortgage lenders will require you to carry flood insurance if you are in a moderate to high-risk flood area. If you're not in a moderate to high-risk flood area, it is optional. But as you've mentioned, Florida is a high-risk flood area. Think about Southwest Florida last year with Ian. There were several areas in Southwest Florida that were not coded as moderate to high-risk flood areas, but did experience flooding as a result of that storm.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's really an optional insurance product that you really want to consider having because you just never know.
To connect with a licensed VyStar Insurance agent, click on the QR code or go to vystarcu.org.